everybody, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be going over how to solve equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. So these examples are a little bit more challenging than my first two parts, so go ahead and reference them if you need to. So let's get started with today's video. So let's go over example 1. So example 1 says 10 minus 4x is equal to negative 9x. So the first thing I want to point out is 4x and 9x are like terms, which means that we can combine them together in this equation. So what I'm going to do is add 4x to both sides of the equal sign. What I'm trying to do is isolate x, so I have x only on one side. So by adding 4x on both sides, I get rid of it on the left side. So negative 9x plus 4x is negative 5x. Negative 4x plus 4x is 0, so we got rid of it on the left side. And then we can just go ahead and bring the 10 down. So the 10 can go ahead and come down. And now we have a new equation. We have 10 is equal to negative 5x. So our goal is to isolate x. So what we can do is we can actually divide negative 5 on both sides. By doing that, we will be able to get rid of the negative 5 next to the x on the right side, since negative 5 divided by negative 5 is equal to 1. So we have x is equal to 10 divided by negative 5, which is just negative 2. All right, what you can always do is go ahead and check your answer by plugging in that x value, that variable value that you get, back into the original equation. So you can go ahead and do that just to check if you got the right answer. And you want to do it on both sides. So wherever you see x, that's where you would plug in that value. All right, let's go to example 2. So example 2 seems a little bit more intimidating, but it's actually fairly simple. It just has a lot of parts to it. All right, so let's go ahead and work with the left side. So the first thing I see is that I need to use the distributive property. So I'm going to distribute 3 to 3x and 3 to negative 4. Always associate the sign in front of the number with the number. So I have 3 times 3x plus 3 times negative 4. I'm basically multiplying the bubbles I created. Then I'll do 1 over 4 times 32x and add that to 1 over 4 times 56. So right now I'm just working with the left side, so we'll get to the right side in a second. So 3 times 3x is 9x, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So I am mostly done with the left side. Now I want to do the same distribution on the right side. So like I said before, we're going to take 1/4 and multiply it by 32x, and then we're going to take 1/4 and multiply it by positive 56. And now we're just going to go ahead and simplify both the sides. So 9x, it won't be plus negative 12. The negative will overpower the plus sign. So it will be 9x minus 12. And on the right side, we'll have 8x plus 56 divided by 4, which is 14. So now this is kind of our new equation because we distributed everything in. So this is more easier to look at. So I'm just going to add 12 on both sides of the equal sign so I can get rid of that 12 on the left side. Again, we're trying to just make x isolated. So once I do that, I get 9x plus 0. And on the right side, I have 8x plus 14 plus 12, which is 26. Once I do that, I have 9x on the left side, and I have 8x plus 26 on the right side. And now what we want to do is we want to combine the like terms of 9x and 8x. Before we were combining the like terms of the constants, and now we're going to do it with the ones with the variables. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract both sides by 8x. So I'm going to end up getting 8x minus 8x on the right side, which is 0, and 9x minus 8x on the left side, which is x. So we have successfully isolated x, and we got the value that x is equal to 26. Again, you can plug it in to check. Here's our next example. So I've again created my bubbles that I want to distribute. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say half times 6h plus half times negative 4. And we're going to add that to half times negative 4. And we'll deal with the signs later. Now we have negative 5h plus 1 on the right side. I just copied it down. So then we have 6h divided by 2, which is 3h. And we have half times negative 4, which is negative 2. Again, I'm worrying about the signs later. And then we have negative 5h plus 1 again on the right side. Then we see that the negative will overpower the plus sign. So that'll be 3h minus 2 on the left and negative 5h plus 1 on the right. Now we're going to combine like terms. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 to both sides. Those are my two like terms. And by doing that, I get rid of the negative 2 on the left side. So I end up having 3h is equal to negative 5h plus 1 plus 2, which is positive 3. And now we want to get rid of the negative 5h on the right side. So I add 5h to both sides. And by doing that, I am able to get 3h plus 5h, which is 8h. And on the right side, I'll be able to say that negative 5h plus 5h is just 0. So I don't even have to think about it. So it'll be 8h is equal to 3. Now in order to make h independent, I'll divide both sides by 8. So that 8 divided by 8 is equal to 1. And I'll end up having h is equal to 3 over 8. So we have successfully made h independent. All right, now let's do example 4. So I made my little bubbles and I know what I have to multiply. I have to multiply the bubbles together. So I have negative 3 over 4 multiplied by 8n. And then I have negative 3 over 4 again multiplied by 12. And the same thing for the right side, we have to distribute, but for now, we'll just work with the left side. So now we're going to go ahead and multiply negative 3 over 4 times 8n, and that is just equal to negative 24n divided by 4. And we're going to add that to negative 36 over 4, and we'll just go ahead and distribute the right side. So I made my bubbles. We have to distribute that. So it'll be 3 times n plus 3 times negative 3. Now let's go ahead and keep simplifying downwards. So negative 24 divided by 4, so that's going to be equals to negative 6n plus, or in this case, the negative overpowers the positive, so it'll just be minus 9. I bring the equal sign down, and then we have 3n minus 9. Again, the negative will eventually overpower the positive sign. So negative 6n on the left side, minus 9. Now we have a much more easier equation to look at. So let's combine the like terms. So we're going to add 9 to both sides. Once we do that, then we get negative 6n on the left, and that is equal to 3n on the right. And at first, this might seem a little startling. Like, what do we do when we have variables on both sides with no constants? And here I just say follow the process. So you want to have n isolated to one side. Since it's on both sides, we want to combine like terms. So I'm going to subtract 3n from both sides because I'm combining the terms. And I'll get 0 on the right side, negative 9n on the left side. And this might also startle you, but you can divide both sides by negative 9 because we're trying to make n independent. Then you'll notice that you get 0 divided by negative 9. 0 divided by a number is 0, but a number divided by 0 is undefined. So make sure you know the difference between the two. Here we have 0 divided by a number, which is negative 9. So we'll end up getting just 0 on the right, and negative 9 over negative 9 is 1. So n is just equal to 0, and you can plug that back in to check. All right, here is example 5. So I've went ahead and made my bubbles, and I'm going to multiply them together. So we'll have 10 times 2y and 10 times 2, and we're going to add those, and we're going to bring down the negative y, bring down the equal sign, and then the same distribution we want to do with the 2 and the 8y. So we'll say 2 times 8y plus 2 times negative 8, and we'll worry about the signs later. Okay, let's further simplify. So 10 times 2y is equal to 20y. 10 times 2 is equal to 20, and then we bring down the negative y. Then we say 8y times 2 is 16y, and negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. Now we want to go ahead and simplify it further, worry about the signs, making sure that they're correct. So we have 16y minus 16, since the negative will overpower the plus sign. We're going to go ahead and combine the like terms on the left side. So we have 20y minus y, which is just equal to 19y. And we'll go ahead and copy over the right side. Now we have 20y minus y is equal to 19y plus 20, and then 16y minus 16. And we come back to that same type of question. So we know how to tackle this. We have to combine the like terms. So the like terms are positive 20 and negative 16. So I'll go ahead on both sides. I'm going to add 16. So I get rid of the negative 16 on the right. So I'll end up getting 16y on the right, and on the left it'll be 16 plus 20, which is plus 36, and 19y. Now we're going to combine the like terms of 19y and 16y. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract both sides by 19y, and I end up getting 36 is equal to 16 minus 19y, which is negative 3y. And in order to isolate y, we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. So we get y is equal to a negative number, which is negative 12. So we go ahead and box our answer, and we can plug it back in to check. Important to note that negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1, and that's why we're dividing by negative 3. We want to make the number in front of the variable 1. All right, let's look at example 6. This is our last example. So we have distribution on both sides. I went ahead and circled and made bubbles, and we have to multiply those bubbles out. So we have 2 times 4x plus 2 times 2. And then we have on the right side 4x. And then we take negative 12 and multiply it by the x bubble. And then we take negative 12 and multiply it by the negative 1 bubble. And that is just equal to negative 12 times negative 1, staying consistent with the signs. So we'll have 4x minus 12x plus 12, because negative times a negative number is equal to a positive number. On the left side, we'll have 8x plus 4. So we'll go ahead and copy that down. And now we just have to combine the like terms on the right side. So 4x minus 12x, that's going to be equal to a negative number. So that'll be equal to negative 8x plus 12. Now we have something we've seen before. So let's go ahead and combine the like terms of 4 and 12. So let's subtract 4 on both sides. So we get rid of the 4 on the left. So on the left, we'll have 8x equals to minus 8x plus 12 minus 4, which is equals to 8. Now we'll add 8x on both sides, so we'll have 16x on the left. And we have on the right side negative 8x plus 8x, which is just 0x, so we don't have to worry about it. And so we just have 8 on the right. Now we can divide both sides by 16 so that we can isolate the value of x, because 16 divided by 16 is just 1. Once we get that, we get x is equal to half. And you can go ahead and plug that back into your original equation to prove that it's true. All right, that wraps up today's video. Hopefully all these examples were challenging but also made sense. Please go ahead and re-watch any of the parts that you didn't understand and tune in for the next part. So thank you for watching our video.